What's up, FTFers? I'm here with my good friend Jason. We just came out of the woods and we all survived.
No deaths.
No deaths, so
No
I'm
one
gonna
froze.
call that a win.
Yep.
This is a subject that's been on my mind quite a bit here lately. I just talked to Mike Simmons. Y'all probably just saw a video on the subject of Recce. I want to talk about that with you because you have actual experience with this with the Navy, dealing with SEALs.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of want to talk about it in an application to what we do for survival dispatch.
Okay.
Because that is something that gets brought up to us quite a bit.
Yep.
And I think it's quite clear from a guy like Mike who did that in the military. What is the modern perception of it today, I think, is not realistic.
Yeah.
I don't think that all this high-speed stuff, IR, night vision, you got on your plates, your helmet, and you're moving solo through an urban environment.
Yeah.
I can't think of any time that I would ever do that unless it was a dire circumstance.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
So many reasons why that's probably not realistic. Like,
Right.
if a police officer sees somebody like that moving around, like,
You're done.
you immediately look like a terrorist.
Exactly.
So many reasons why I wouldn't be moving around with my rifle and all my stuff, my gear on, looking like Rambo.
I mean, I even brought it up to Mike, like, let's say you are in an urban environment. Maybe a rifle is not the choice for you.
Yeah.
Maybe not having the plates on and everything, because it's all about strategic avoidance.
Right.
If you are literally doing Recce as it's defined, then you would be making a map of the area and you
gathering
would be,
information.
It's intel.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not actively seeking to kill
Get
anyone.
in any kind of confrontation. That's the last thing that you want to do.
Right.
And that's really what my point is to the audience, is I think that this has just been, it's out of control. I don't think that this is what
It's out of control, man.
It is definitely
It's got
out
to
of
stop.
control. Somebody has to stand up, and if it's me is the one that does it or whatever, I just don't think it's realistic. People don't have the training.
Yeah.
They don't have the experience.
Yeah.
They don't have the gear, most likely, because all of this stuff is really expensive. We've
Yeah.
been gathering our gear for years and years and years, and I still don't have all the stuff I had when I was in. Just the IR camera that I had was 14 grand.
Yeah.
I can't afford to buy one of those today.
Nope.
And besides that, I just think it's foolish. You're probably not going to have the community to back it up that has the small unit tactic advantage. Oh, and something I want you to talk about is your experience when y'all were training, because like you said, you would play a certain role, and you were actually killing some of the most elite warriors in our country in training exercises. So you want to elaborate on that for them?
Yeah, one of the most unrealistic situations I think that people have an idea that they'll put themselves in one day is that they're going to be clearing buildings and rooms and getting the supplies that they need after the SHTF happens, or even worse, what I've heard that's really sad is people saying, like, I don't need to supply, I don't need to stockpile, I've got a gun and I'll go get what I need.
Yeah.
Maybe. It might work once, might work twice.
Maybe.
But it's going to be a short-term plan for sure.
Statistically speaking,
You're
though,
gonna get
you're
killed.
definitely going to be out.
Like, for example, we were doing some family training the other day, some family, like, intruder training the other day.
Yeah.
I was the bad guy. Kicked in the door, boom! I'm coming in, hot, right? I was killed by a 7-year-old with a Nerf gun. A 7-year-old killed me. Not exaggerating. I was trying.
And Christy was telling us that the women and the children slayed all the men.
We had no chance.
That have experience.
Because the most dangerous thing, in my experience, is a person that is posseed up somewhere in a room, right, with that gun on the doorway, waiting for you to come in. You are not getting in that door without.
They're not indexing the weapon.
No, so there a few times, not a ton of training. Like, I never did any training per se. I was just shoved into the mix. I played Op 4. I was playing the bad guy. Like, I would be a role player.
You still have a tactical advantage though in that position.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So I worked with the Navy. I worked with the Navy SEALs. I was basically a strength coach for the Navy SEAls. But occasionally I got to go out and do some fun stuff, and I'd put on the Middle Eastern man dress and everything, and I would be Akbar or whatever.
Allah Akbar.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever, and I would get the gun and whatever, and I would be in a room, I'd be in a building or whatever, and they would say, hey, when the guys come in, let them have it. Like, there was no instructions other than that.
Y'all are using sim rounds.
Yeah, using sim rounds, and they say no instructions other than kill as many guys as you can.
Yeah.
I was a bad guy. So that's what I did. I mean, they'd throw a crash in there or a flashbang, and regardless of that, every time I killed the first man that came in the room, without question.
Absolutely.
Zero training, most elite force on the planet. I killed at least one guy every single time because of my superior position. Like,
Right.
That's it.
That's all I'm trying to say
Yeah.
to the audience, because this is a big subject right now. People are preparing for these uncertain times, and this happens to be one of the go fast things that always comes up, and it kind of kills me a little bit when people start talking about it, because I'm like, you just don't have realistic expectations of what you're saying. You're literally putting your life on the line. You are over the line.
Yeah.
When strategic avoidance should be the thing.
Number one. Why are we going into this building?
Why are you doing this to begin with?
Why are we doing this? What reason do I have? Because I'm most likely going to get shot. Like,
Yes.
it needs to be a very, very important reason.
The numbers are definitely against you.
Yes.
You should have everything that you need at home. But let's say that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you still take that chance by yourself?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sure, that would be a dire circumstance if you were going to die and so you gambled.
Yeah.
Right? You had to gamble.
Sure.
I can understand that. But I think that people don't understand the circumstance.
Yeah.
I think that they're trying to plan for something, you know, planning for the worst, hope for the best. We always do that. But I think that people just have unrealistic expectations of this subject of Recce.
Anything tactical.
And I would love to do it, and we'll definitely do videos in the future. Jason and I have already talked about some like counter tracking and some other exercises that we wanted to do to show y'all some ways that you can accomplish these goals. But you're not going to learn everything you need to learn from a YouTube video.
No.
Like, you have to get out there and you have to train with guys that have the experience.
And see people in the woods and what it looks like moving and how quietly can you move. Like, all the things. Like, it's
so much.
Yeah.
And this past weekend, we actually talked about this a lot because we were talking about the possibility of being ambushed while we're out there and looking for cover.
Yeah.
And it takes years and years of experience where
you don't have to
that
think
is
about it.
muscle memory.
Yeah, and
like,
where just based on the terrain, like, where would you walk? What's the safest place to be? What's the most dangerous place to be? Like, right here. This is a really dangerous place to be. High ground here.
Oh, we're done.
There's high ground there. Like,
Yeah, no,
really
we're done.
dangerous place to be if you were moving in a dangerous environment
Right.
where people were trying to hurt you. So, yeah.
So get in the comment section. I know that y'all are going to have a lot to talk about there, and I think that's where the best stuff happens, is in the comment section anyway.
Tell us we're wrong.
Tell us we're wrong. We want to hear it,
Yeah.
and we also want to hear what you think about us going out and doing some of this stuff in the field. So like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and until next time, y'all, keep fueling those fires.